Okay guys, here we are at the field. I've got my trusty Bixler 2 here, and I have this Eachine camera mounted up to the front of it, kind of semi-permanent condition. I can just pop that off there. It's a little bit of hot glue onto that traditional style mount that I have up front. I had another system here which is quite a bit heavier, so if you can see the difference, I mean, this thing is an all-in-one deal, and then your traditional setup with your VTX there is quite, I mean, it's probably about the same weight here. This might even be a little bit lighter without all this stuff here, but you know, we're looking at like 6.8 grams there with that little tiny Eachine all-in-one camera. So let's go ahead and get it up in the air real quick. I've got my Fat Sharks recording our FPV over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give us a launch, and hopefully we get a successful launch out of this. I am kind of launching a little bit side to the wind, so I'm gonna give it full throttle and we'll see what we get. Here we go. Just come up, come up. Launching with a little bit of a tailwind is kind of tricky, so I got the wind in my back, so I tried to launch side to the wind a little bit. Launching down, straight downwind is always a little bit difficult. But the Bixler 2 is pretty light. It's a great FPV setup if you guys are looking for an airplane to FPV. This one's nice because it doesn't have the prop in front of it, so you don't have any prop obstruction in the video, which is nice. Looks like I got a little smudge there on the camera, but sorry about that. But the Bixler 2 is a nice flying airplane. And I've got 25 milliwatt on this micro FPV cam, so this is totally suitable for close proximity flying, like park flying. Something you could actually do some indoor flying with this, tiny whoop or Inductrix. The nice thing about this one is it is one of the lighter ones, one of the lighter FPV cams, all-in-ones that I have demoed for you guys. 6.8 grams is pretty light. You can make it even lighter by taking off the case that it comes with. It has a couple clips that you just pinch off, and then you can make it even a little bit lighter. And the Bixler's just cutting right through this wind. It is a little bit turbulent up there, but seems to be way more turbulent down below the tree line, where I've got a lot of rolling wind. And once you get up a little bit above the trees, a little more stable. Quite as much rolling wind up there. But the Bixler has a really nice glide ratio. If you cut the motor, you got so much dehedral in these wings, so much upturn on each wingtip, that it makes it a really stable flyer. Doesn't have a whole lot of stall characteristics. But I got sort of a weak power setup on here, so sometimes it does need full throttle to get all the way up. There we go. It's got a rudder on this airplane and aileron, so I've got nice control on this one. Can make nice flat turns with my rudder. If I'm FPVing, a lot of times I do fly with a lot of rudder. No stabilization on this camera, folks. We're just flying with a little DIY style hot glue. But that's what makes these little mini cams nice, because they're portable and you can take them on and off of different things. You can power it with a small battery. This one takes up 2S and up, so 5 volt and up on this camera, up to I think it was 17 volt in specs. So essentially you could run a 4S battery on this thing if you wanted to splice into it, but I don't recommend that. And you could safely run a 2S on there. I go minimum. Minimum voltage is always better. Not too minimum, because then you won't get it to power up. If you tried to put a 1S on this one, it wouldn't work. But you can do 5 volt on your flight controller. You could go direct solder it straight to your flight controller on your power port. It's looking nice up here though, looking really nice. It's a little bit overcast today, so it's probably a good test for this camera today for a low light test. Sun is trying to come out a little bit. Look at that glide on the Bixler too, that's nice. Big sweeping turns. Come in and do some low level gliding. I don't want to get too close to the ground because it might just be a little bit turbulent down low. I always like the look of the Bixler in the air. A little shark fin on the back. It's the perfect FPV plane. Tons of people around the world use the Bixler for close-in proximity FPV. You can set these up for long range too if you wanted to. I know people that do. You can got plenty of canopy room up in the front there. Cram a huge battery in it, but then again you're going to have to push the battery back quite a bit to get it to balance out on your CG. But this camera seems to be doing pretty well. I'll have to see what the footage looks like when I go way up there, once I get back to my computer. Really nice glide in that headwind. So if you guys fly these micro cams, let me know which one you fly down in the comments below. Don't put any links or anything because we don't like that. Advertising for other channels or things like that. It's nice if you just share it with other people and comment about your experience. If you have this camera, this particular one, let me know what you fly on yours. What you fly your FPV cam on. Or airplane, ducted fan, or multi-rotor. Maybe you fly it on a single rotor heli. I always wanted to do that. FPV, a single rotor. That would take a little practice. Really nice float. So, like I said, guys, this camera is really nice and lightweight. You can put this on just about anything, from something as small as an Inductrix. You fly it indoors. A little bit turbulent coming by there. So I'm going to take maybe a couple more passes and then I'm going to land because I don't want to run this battery too hard. It is a 3S 2200 milliamp that I have on here, so I can probably get 10 minutes or more on the Bixler with that setup because I can kind of come up, get some altitude and cut the throttle back and just glide. You save a lot of battery power. It really does look nice in the air. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little demo of this little Eachine camera. A lot of fun for me to test out these different various cameras. And like I said, this is one of the lighter ones that I've tested at 6.8 grams. So pretty cool. Easy to set up and power off a little 2S. And you can get something way smaller than this, but for this airplane, it's totally fine. So thanks again for watching, you guys. I'm Justin Davis, and I will see you on the next one.